All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As you see, we are into the draft here for our second game, Bad Monkey Gaming versus Raising Gaming here in our relegation matchup. Again, it really is something saying these two team names, the matchup that has a lot of history actually between the team names at least. Yet we're here in a relegation match to determine which is going to be Diamond. Obviously, a lot's changed, and more surprising is the BMG side, if anything. But still, it's funny saying it, gotta say. But anyways, I'm joined by Shortcon once again.
Hello.
My co-caster. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
We got our new draft underway, and a couple of different things. The bands I were pretty similar in the end. Salomon, Doctor, Hellbringer, and then Tempest band. The final one. So, but that allows Midas to be picked up, as well as Parasite and Moraxis. So they do get Behemoth and Lord Self-Force, though.
Yeah, about that. I heard something about what's it called? Zlapt mentioning to all the professional players and everything that they don't really want people to pick Self-Force anymore. Not to have it end up like Tremble was, where it's permabanned every single game.
Yeah.
And yeah, no joke. They're thinking of just,
a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, a gentleman's agreement. And
to
make sure that nobody picks that hero. But yeah, I guess Reason has not had the memo. Last game,
yeah.
It was banned, I think. First banned.
I want to say it was, yeah.
By Reason. But, okay, so what I'm thinking right now from the draft is you see the Legion team. They have good early... Once they get the portal keys, they're going to steamroll, I think. But Reason right now is looking very late game oriented, or at least that they need to get some farm first, especially the Self-Force and the Mage Bane and the Behemoth. All take a little bit longer to get going than the Moraxis, Midas, Parasite. So what I'm thinking is go man up on the Mage Bane, prevent him from getting any farm, and make sure to block Self-Force's camps as well, or at least send Parasite into their woods to try and screw him up. Because if they do that, they can very easily roll over Reason Gaming right now.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, Self-Force is middle and Behemoth is Suicide, and then they have a different jungler. That could catch BMG by surprise, because then Self-Force is going to get farm regardless of the situation.
That's an interesting concept, because, yeah, we've only been seeing jungle Self-Forces lately. I remember when he first started breaking in, there was a couple of attempts to kind of run him in the lane, and tended to do decently. But, yeah, no, jungle seems like where he's at most of these other games here. So
that's usually because you want like an initiator in middle, and Self-Force is really just that he's kind of similar to a Kinesis that you just deal a lot of damage and you're just really annoying to deal with. Only Lord Self-Force does it every how many seconds with his Q? 4 seconds, 360 burst damage, because that's not ridiculous at all. Ha!
4 seconds, wow. That's pretty short cooldown. There's Moira again. Moira kind of making a resurgence here on the competitive scene. So BMG gonna pick him up. I'm sure Fusen will end up playing that.
Pretty good versus Behemoth if you can get a portal key on Moira at any point. Just instantly prevent Behemoth from following up on anything. Without ever being at risk yourself as Moira. I like the hero still. They did kind of nerf the damage on his Q, didn't they? A while back, and a bunch of other stuff. I think there was also a glitch that made his stun max duration at all levels. I think that was a bug, or at least it felt like it when playing against it.
Possibly, yeah. No, can't say I recall that, but did get some nerfs.
What I do want to see more of, though, is teams picking up on the fact that Succubus is a fantastic anti-carry hero. And to be completely honest, Succubus has received some buffs in the last few patches where his Mesmerize can be cancelled when it's on himself, so he can use it for defensive purposes as well.
Succubus, yeah, she really has. I mean, she's always kind of been that 1v1 hero. She's one of the most dominant, but outside of that, yeah, she really hasn't gotten any attention for.
Yeah.
That would be fun to see, though.
It's also an excellent boxing out hero versus any suicide because you just man up on them with auto attacks and then you use Heartache and then you're like, I have more HP than you and I'm still pretty tanky because I'm a succubus. It's actually funny if you look at the stat gains from Succubus and the stats, it's 18, 18, 18 for strength, agi, and intelligence, and they all gain 2.1 per level. I don't think there's any other hero who has that except for Shadowblade.
Wow, what about that final pick from Deadlift, by the way? So,
yeah.
Does that mean Deadlift is going to jungle?
It's a mid-suff yeah.
How about that? You have
I do like
it.
it.
Sure.
Yeah. I do like it, though, because Deadlift can so easily gank Make, whereas Sulfuras would be slightly less useful in that regard.
That was an interesting finish.
But
I also think the carry choice of BMG, I know he's great against Mage Bane considered with the Dark Lady, but again, for hearing about Dark Lady and how he got these nerfs and kind of hurt the hero quite a bit, this is an interesting pickup from BMG.
I think you have to consider, though, that Dark Lady is like the anti-team hero right now, because he can, if he gets that shrunken up, he's just going to burst down Time to Die on Behemoth. He's going to burst down Hex and everything, if he can get there, though. Like, the burst of a Dark Lady is not really comparable to anything else, but Mage Bane, he's just going to be an annoying factor all the time, regardless of whether he has a Shrunken or not, because he's going to go for that Cleaver, going to go get the Geos, be able to, just jump around and be as annoying as he can, and, cooldown of 6 seconds on his flash, of course.
Fly around the map, got that mobility. So,
Mm-hmm.
Is Boxy? Has Boxy kind of transferred back to the suicide role? Because
I have no
he's
idea.
playing more Axis, and now he's in the suicide here. So they're swapping.
It might be. It might be especially for this game because you see that with the mid lane being so short, Make is less at risk of being screwed up by contact high this game with the deadlift. Because he can get into tower range, and then Sulfuras is not eager to follow into there, seeing as Midas can still, of course, use spells even when he has the death grip on him. So, in that regard, this makes sense. And in the top lane, Boxy's, of course, going to have that Arcane Shield to help him out. He is going to go Boots, though, versus an Aluna, which... and a Mage Bane, I guess. I agree to it. I agree with it for like a certain amount, but at the same time, he's not going to be reducing any damage, and Hank should have a really good time here.
Well, you see right away putting the auto attacks in, so yeah, the lack of bucklers definitely showing quite a bit. So
But use a power throw. Just use a power throw.
Clear the trees, yeah.
Not only clear the trees, just harass him. I mean, it's a lot of damage. You have how many power throws before you add a mana? 3, I'd say, with mana regen involved. Like, just force Boxy back. He doesn't have that much regen, and right now you're letting him, be annoying to the Mage Man.
Yeah, kind of do what he wants here in a sense. And yeah, he's really it's just fun seeing him just constantly running around with us. But I guess that's what you got to do in the boot strat. Yeah,
Yep.
Patho did hit right there, so yeah, it's taking a little more pressure. He has the health potion, so going to be willing to take a little more, couple more auto attacks, and then obviously we'll probably go back and regen. Middle lane in the meantime, Lord Force might fall right here. One more auto attack. Yamaki chase him down. He has Parasite coming in. The turn kill chance not going to happen. And down goes Forest. So yeah, I kind of looked at that a couple times. They were really going back and forth at it. Moraxis is they're blanking in actually. And he goes down. Nice play right there from Reason. Quick response, at least. It's just unfortunate that wasn't the Bloodlust.
Yeah. I really don't know how Labyrinth put himself in position to die, though. I mean, Midas isn't even level 4, though. Make does play a really annoying Midas, though. Like, it's unbelievably annoying. I've played against him mid quite often in TMM, and it's just... He's always getting the last hits because you just have great base damage on that hero. And again, Labyrinth is moving up too far.
Yeah. he likes that life tap, of course, but at level 1, you know, it's not the craziest amount of regen, so.
And here comes the Skeleton King.
Oh, he's got to transmute, but no. Picks up on it in time. Top lane again, more Axis. He's going to try to run it again. We saw what happened before. This time it might be different. He pops the Arcane Shield, hoping that mitigates something. It does not, though. Deadlift with that haste rune chases him all the way down and gets credit for the kill. Boxy again is struggling start here in the suicide.
And I was saying about how Deadlift, you know, can't gank him or access well with a haste rune. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
In the mid lane, by the way, Tamtida showing himself to Maka. Walking a bit too close.
Yeah, making it a little too obvious. In fact, Parasite also going to see him now as he's coming in. Help for a kill on Southforce, but Southforce turning, and Behemoth secures the kill. Midas, I think he should have seen him, especially with Parasite, but he didn't really pay attention to that.
Yeah. Are they swapping lanes now? Are they putting Boxy middle? That would be something now.
Nope.
It's just going to port to top. I was thinking, like, you know, just have more access be there because, you know, Midas has level 4 and he has boots and a bottle, so he's going to be able to really screw up Mage Main's farm instead of feeding them more. But no, does not seem to be the case. Good rotation, though, from Behemoth going to the middle lane to finish off Midas because that's what they honestly need to do. They need to stop Moraxis and Midas from getting too much, and then they have freedom for their Mage Main to just keep farming.
Right now, again, Mage Main up here at 340 gold per minute. He's doing pretty good, actually, when it comes to that GPM. Obviously, one of these carries that needs a bit of time before he's going to have a decent impact, but the fact that he's got this good start definitely helps that cause. Top lane with Luna once again.
Remember what I said about Han Gods, by the way?
What's that?
Labyrinth being that low, he got a regen rune. Because, you know, that's just how this game works.
That's convenient. He'll pick that up and use it right away. Yeah, that's why you do the rune control, just in case the what is it, 1 in 5 chance, I guess, for that area. But then
you can't have two runes after each other, so it couldn't have been a haste rune.
That's a good point. Yeah. And his point was, may not be the highest chance to get that exact rune that he was hoping for at that spot, but it did. So you got to be there to give yourself that chance.
And on that note, yeah, they've been doing a good job with Deadlift securing top rune and then Southforce going bottom rune. But Southforce seems to be content to just be throwing out his Morris Certissima from afar to farm. Oh, but Deadlift.
There we go. There's a clash, the Undying. There's that nuke. Midas is going to throw the transmute, knows he needs to kind of run out of here. Can they maybe get a turn call on Southforce? They can, as he will go down. Is he still dead?
No, he's not.
No, he's not. Okay, he's going to survive. Deadlift also now caught out. Leech coming through. Luna's running in, though. They're trying to scare them off. Nice block by Behemoth. In fact, Midas got a little too cocky going back in. Or did he actually? What a stun from Moira. With the shards of Harkon. It stuns them both, of course. Keeps Midas alive. Gets the kill on a Behemoth. And Deadlift is going to have to just fall back before he also goes down. So I thought for sure Midas, the greed was going to backfire on him, but no, he survives. Going to regen now. Beautiful turn from BMG, and now they're up, well, no, it's tied at 3 hero kills apiece. But again, similar to last game, despite some decent things happening for Reason as far as kills go, it seems like BMG has a slight advantage here. Dark
I think it's because of the junglers, by the way.
The junglers,
and the junglers, because you have both the carries, they're farming about equal. But then you look at the junglers and you see that contact high is at 200 GPM, and you have Parasite at 240. Okay, forget what I said. No, but in the first game it was with the Tempest having 400 GPM, whereas Parasite had close to 300 at the start at least. And Behemoth really should have stacked the Ancients for Southforce. Because that hero is so great at taking Ancients earlier than any other hero, and Behemoth just started roaming pretty early on, so there's no reason for him not to stack those Ancients.
Yeah. No, it could have been a little better farm for Lord Southforce.
Yeah, he would be up at 400 and now had it been a triple stack.
Well, he's going to come back to the middle lane. You see Behemoth and Luna are still here.
And he's running back to the Ancients.
The Ancients, all right. Going
But then
that's
Behemoth
right.
should stay middle to get last hits with his Fisher.
Well, he's going to
Okay.
set her on bottom, but I guess it is kind of pushed up right here, so going to get a couple of creep kills. Interesting transitions here. But yeah, Dark Liddy, and kind of quietly doing her own thing, though. Nearly 400 gold per minute just from farm alone. Always a pretty impressive mark to hit at this early on in the game. As a sustainer well in the works, and of course the eventual run cleaver. So mentioned about Mage Bane now, he needs a bit of farm. Dark Liddy's obviously the same way. This is that classic matchup, Dark Liddy versus Mage Bane.
I think Dark Lady's missed one last hit. Because there was the Ballista at one point. Oh, Behemoth actually.
He might die here. Is it going to be enough damage? It's not.
That's 740 HP. No, but Contact High is going to fall to Boxy and Boxy.
It's a support right there of the Moira, I think. But yeah, he didn't get even the assist for it, so.
Yeah, so I'm doubting he actually did that much.
Yeah.
And this game, Midas is actually opting to go for Golden Salva. I think he's been using it to last it as well as deal some harass on Salforus. And I think that's fair, to be honest, because the Lion's Pride really has quite a small AoE for actual damage. And most of it, the Transmute is just there because it has a large AoE. Not that it actually deals the AoE damage in a large AoE, but the path that it passes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm using right there to help clean up the creep wave there. So farming efficiently well, to say the least. Mage Bane did push in that top tower, but bottom tower gets pushed in by the Legion, actually.
They've got, like, the parallels are just ridiculous right now. Mage Bane did last at the tower, I think, and that's why he's actually like the
2
same.
gold per minute higher.
Yeah, 2 gold per minute higher. No.
Yep,
but,
now it's Dark Liddy.
Yep.
Back and forth.
But I mean, you see the difference in creep kills. It's about 10. Unacceptable supper size.
Yeah, I know, right? Moraxis was being a little bit of a pain earlier on, to be fair, so perhaps there's that too. But the jungling situation, it's a little more of a gap now. You're kind of getting that early. It's 280 Parasite, 220 Deadlift, and again, I know this always goes back. Honestly, Deadlift is not really like the greatest flash farming jungler. He just happens to be able to have that presence coming from the jungle with the Death Grip ability. So, and he has a way to farm the jungle. It's not the most efficient, but he happens to have a way to do it. So, that's why
He just happens to have a semi-decent way of farming the jungle.
Yeah. So.
Top lane.
Not surprising to
Mage
see.
Bane might be in some trouble. Midas actually was moving over as well as Moira, but no.
Mage Bane getting back in time. Does he not have the Mana Tube yet? Guess he still needs the Mana Tube and the second broadsword here.
He's just taking it to be able to farm the jungle a little bit more effectively. It's not like he uses any mana for farming, whereas Dark Lady can be using the charging strikes consistently.
Yeah.
To a bit faster.
She just got her broadsword as well, so the timing is obviously going to be pretty similar here. The only difference really is that Mage Bane did go a full Iron Shield, where Dark Lady did not, so a little more gold invested there.
And Mage Bane went for Steam Boots instead of Ghost Marches, which are also 50 gold cheaper.
Yeah. So kind of balancing out there a little bit.
It's looking really funny though, but Dark Lady seems to be having a better time, like just last hitting more creeps, I guess.
And
what it comes down to.
And when it comes to like team fights as well, I mean, Dark Lady's going to have the better impact. You'd figure too. The Dark Blades are charging strikes. Mage Bane is caught right here. This is a big kill. Oh, they don't get it though. She blinks away with 1 auto attack remaining before death. Wow, that would have been a huge kill.
If a Luna wasn't there, that would have been a kill on Mage Bane. But he was able to stun Midas while the transmute buff was there for him, so he wasn't able to get the extra damage in. Or at least 2 attacks with extra damage.
Yeah, that would have secured it, no doubt. So stays alive and gets some regen. So that will slow him down a little bit, but not as much, of course. He did die right there, so coming back in.
Fusen blocked the Ancients now, but actually Salforus, he has a Rev Ward. He was going for the Invis rune. Is he going to be able to find the ward? Yes, he is.
Barely in range. That was close, actually.
Yeah.
And he gets it. Be able to do this Ancients again. But yeah, back to Dark Lady again. Her teamfight impact is arguably a little stronger with the Dark Blades, the Charging Strikes, of course, her ultimate, the Cover of Darkness. And then on top of that, you can consider her pretty good against a Mage Bane because of the Silence, the Dark Blades. In that matchup there. So, yeah, the fact that they're, like, even right now, a slight advantage even for Dark Lady, that you really does, you got to think that that is the better of BMG here for those reasons.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can think, oh, but Mage Bane is a lot better versus a Midas. He can insta-kill a Midas if he manages to get down on mana. So on that note,
I feel like Dark Lady could too, though, with the Dark Blades.
But it would take a bit longer.
Yeah, perhaps. That's true.
Mage Bane has that AoE ultimate, and he could, if used effectively, he could manage to hit another person with it as well.
Yeah. The strength of Mage Bane too is the split push aspect.
Blink. And the blink.
And the mobility in general is obviously where he has the advantage, especially with that cooldown nerf to Charging Strikes now. So there's even more of a gap there. So yeah, not to say that Dark Lady was the outright better carry by any means, but with kind of taking a look at how this game's turning to be out right now. In fact,
I think at the point that Mage Bane picks up a Geos, that's when he's going to be stronger than Dark Lady, because he can get rid of the Dark Blades, and those illusions are going to be draining Dark Lady's mana, and without mana, Dark Lady can't do anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to get kited completely.
He does get the Rune Cleaver about a minute before Mage Bane's going to get his.
And the Ancients are tripled, so he's already going to boost his farm in that regard really well, whereas on the Hellborn side, the Ancients still aren't being stacked.
Well, it was blocked, as you mentioned, to be fair, so.
And Behemoth is now focusing on getting his portal key in the bottom lane, and it's going to be a relatively quick portal key. At the same time, though, you look at Boxy, he's up to 325 gold per minute. I have no idea how he did that.
I don't either. That is pretty crazy. Yeah, his start wasn't the freshest. But just like last game on Kinesis.
He suddenly got a kill like Lags, and look, he's 320 gold per minute. But now the advantages are really all going for BMG, because Mage Bane just got the Rune Cleaver picked up, but there's no stacks for him to farm. Whereas I think Dark Lady, well, not that many stacks either, but...
Yeah, I think that this is where the Reason also does have that dual core aspect to them in South Forest, as you saw right there.
Yeah.
He's taking the Ancient, so... Where the Legion team, there's only one hero that ideally is going to do Ancients, and it's the Dark Lady.
Talking about South Forest.
Middle lane South Forest, he is going to be dove on, the Transmute connects, and down he goes. So, happen to be mentioning him, and that's what we call the Caster's Curse there. So, South Forest going down, a big kill for the Legion team. Aluna probably dead. Puzzle box level 2? No, level 1 actually, but not enough in the end. At least she gets away, but... Man, 3,000 gold almost, by the way, on Lord South Forest. So what is he doing? What is he saving up for?
I think it's Sheepstick.
Ugh.
But, like, get a tablet.
Yeah, that too.
Hello?
Tablet's
You're against the Dark Lady.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like, Slap likes to go the portal key even.
Yeah, I like portal key as well, but this game being against a Dark Lady, you can, get away from him.
Oh,
but they're going
Shockwave
for it.
Initiation. Got to get more access to the tower. Still goes down, though, in favor of the Legion team. Cover of Darkness came out as well.
And he goes Storm Spirit on South Forest.
He did go Storm Spirit in the end, but can't make a play with it right there. So that was bad for Reason. Everything just went wrong there.
Everything just went wrong. I mean, that was just a questionable ulti from Behemoth as well. It was just like, okay, I have my portal key. I'm going to use it on solo more access. And Parasite, who's in a Ballista, who doesn't care.
Yeah. No, that was a very greedy decision on Reason's part, and now the gap is starting to become very noticeable here. Favorite BMG.
By the way, is it that Hell Cannons are completely magic immune, by the way? Like, they don't take damage from superior magic either? Because I don't think the Behemoth ultimate stopped Masera in that...
I don't
Hell Cannon.
think they take any magic or superior magic damage, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't confirm that off the top of my head. In fact, here we go. I got this list. I went through the last time here, and I can add to the list now.
Mage Bane, by the way, getting picked off by Boxy's PK with, what was it? I think Parasite?
I think it was
No,
Parasite,
not
yeah.
Parasite.
Was it? Who was it?
I
It
don't know.
was
Parasite,
Make and
Parasite was
Boxy.
mid.
So it just
It
might have
must
been
have been
Moraxis,
Boxy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's slowing him down even more. So, again, Reason Gaming, it was a very tight game for the first 10 minutes here or so, but BMG most certainly getting that gap built up. And so Parasite in Ballistas, immune to superior magic 2. Okay.
I mean, they can get Diva ultimated and stuff, but that's more like a lockdown.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't even know what that is, to be honest.
I mean, that technically is superior magic, right? So,
Yeah.
I guess damage should work in that sense, but yeah, I don't know. Have to look into that. How about Make here, the post-haste, portal key, he's working on a sheep stick now.
Well, I mean, this is just what he's like doing all the time in every game he plays, Midas. He just sits in one lane and pushes it out until, you know, the enemy team cries. Because he's always in the woods somewhere, but whether you can find him, that really is the issue. Did he just
He
ulti?
avoided it! No! So, okay, let's see the end of this fight right here. I gotta save that replay too, because that was... Okay, fight's still going on. There's a cover of darkness though, and you know that they're panicking because of that. Behemoth in the background, he's gonna go down. Transmute hits both. Here comes the Dark Blades, and both self-force. Well, I guess just self-force. Goes down right there. As the rest are able to stay alive. Mage Bane did barely get out. Is able to blink away now. He's still trying to run, actually. He's going to be fine in the end. So, I mean, essentially that was... Moraxis was farming mid. Behemoth started charging in and then went blinked into then Shockwave. And then literally that same frame, Moraxis portal key down. It almost looked like he just disappeared, like it just killed him that quickly. But no, he actually portal keyed at the same exact split second, too. And he got away, so... Nothing's going right for Reason, it feels like, in this game here. And now Parasite, actually, he's... All of a sudden his mana's gone. And he goes down, so... Well, that didn't work as planned. Now Mage Bane's coming back in. They're going to catch Moira, even. She,
Is
escaping that, so, okay, well, a couple of kills at least.
they are going to get the deny as well if they want it. And at the same time, Maka is just in that top lane, pushing it out, creating space for his team. And Balthazar is going to take another triple stack of Ancients, so he's really going to get close to that 600 GPM mark. I think. Last fight he didn't actually have mana though. When he was charging in on the Mage Bane and the, what was it, Sulfuras, he didn't have enough mana to use Dark Blades as well as his charge. So he didn't actually get to silence the Mage Bane. Which ended up in Mage Bane escaping and ultimately to Masera's death.
Yeah, I thought there was two people there initially, but that makes sense. Okay. Mage Bane was able to blink away. Stay alive in that case at least, but yeah, you see the lead now. In fact, the Dark Blades have 150. There's that middle tower denied. HP eventually comes back over to take care of business, but yeah, we're getting to a point where it's BMG. It's going to be almost their game to lose.
Gnomes actually picked up on Moraxis, and I love this. Versus a Sulfuras as well as a Behemoth. Oh, talking about Behemoth, he's going to go kill Midas.
This time he's like, Midas, you're not doing the same. Make sure.
But Midas is actually up to 480 gold per minute.
Uh-oh. And Mage Bane's dead. That's not worth it then.
And I mean, Maki could even choose to buy back and just portal key and post this in to push the tower.
10 more seconds he would need, but yeah, he definitely could. He has plenty of gold for it. It's probably not necessary, though. You see here.
Probably not. It might be a slight waste.
Oh,
no. Aluna.
Sulfuras actually top lane is going to get caught by Moraxis, and Parasite is going to go for the TP. That's not going to happen, though. Through the Storm Spirit and Hope, obviously not the case. Yeah, Boxy with that Gnome's Wisdom. I'm loving to see this, because again, the Gnomes I really didn't think was undervalued so far with the changes, but Boxy clearly likes it.
It's a fantastic item.
Yeah.
Like 2 magic armor for your entire team. It's like, why would you not pick it up?
Exactly.
Every game. In every single game.
Especially on a hero that has spammable abilities. You know, it's just a nice little armor or a shield, you could say, on top of that he gets every once in a while. So
And on top of it, it just gives you good stats. Like it gives you, it also forgoes the need to buy Mystic Vestments. Well, you buy the Mystic Vestments to turn into the Gnome's Wisdom, but you get what I mean. You get 100% mana regeneration, and you know, that's just all these nice things.
Oh, Midas, he's getting out of here. Luna kind of cuts him off, but not really. Midas did end up going to Void Talisman, actually. He's working towards a Sheep Stick. Decided to invest some gold into that Void Talisman first. Not sure why, to be honest. It's kind of an odd item this game. I mean, Mage Bane, sure.
Yeah, Mage Bane. And I guess Deadlift. With the Onslaught, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
But other than that, there's nothing.
Oh, top lane, Dark Lady. She's kind of caught here. The Undying's up.
But Parasite's running over.
And she has her cover of darkness, too, if she feels it necessary.
Oh,
the power throw hit, actually, but there's the turn that you knew was coming. I mean, obviously, as a spectator, we could see it, but honestly, as a Hellborn team, you almost have to expect something like that could happen.
Yeah, that took way too long.
Yeah.
And they know that Midas is a post haste, and, I mean, yeah. They were going all in for a Dark Lady, and it ended up working very much against them.
That's what we call tilt. I think Recent Gaming's on it a little bit.
Behemoth still level 10 only, so his Shockwave isn't even going to deal that much damage. It was enough for the Midas just now, but Midas wants to go on him. He wants revenge. Maybe.
Possible. That's what Make's thinking. Oh, we gotta get a chance right here. How about that? He gives it to him. Well, the Messera will ruin the plans and take the kill instead.
Yeah. They should have all taunted.
Taunted and then not killed him. Just ran away.
Oh, there's the spyglass.
It's,
Okay.
it's GG well played. Alright, let's just leave. Game's over. No point.
Why? Honestly, why doesn't that item give you True Strike for everyone on your team for, I mean, a slightly less time?
From my understanding, this is the brief explanation I got, is simply this item was an idea that it's a counter to Wingbow, essentially. A counter to an item with evasion, especially being Wingbow. And they just wanted to add that because I guess there was some concern that Wingbow was going to be a very, very powerful, picked up all the time item. And this is a way to kind of normalize that or keep it down.
But I mean, how many games go to Wingbow? Like, even last game, we didn't see a Wingbow picked up on, who was it? What was the carry? Clanks.
It was Clanks, yeah. We haven't seen a
And
lot of Wingbows on.
it was a pretty long game. And, I mean, I love the fact that it's unit walking now for melee heroes. So when you use illusions on Mage Bane, you can stack them on top of yourself.
Wait, what are you talking about? For the Wingbow?
Yeah, but you get unit walking as a melee now as well.
Oh, wow. As well as the return? Oh my god, you do, yeah.
So when you have geometers and a Wingbow, you stack on top of yourself, and then there's a chance that people click on one of your Geo's illusions instead of yourself when using a sheep stick or whatever.
Wait, so it no longer returns the damage? They took that away? And they've changed it to... Because, yeah, just reading the tooltip, so it no longer returns the damage. It just now gives you plus 10 move speed and then unit walking, as you're pointing at. Okay, interesting. I honestly did not know that. Okay. Cool.
Another thing?
Yeah.
For your list?
Well, I mean, that's... Is there something wrong with that? Or is...
No, oh, what?
No, well, but my list... Oh, yeah, middle lane. Midas is trying to escape right here. Nope, going back in. He's got the help. Easy kill on a deadlift. And Luna decided it was best to maybe try to help. Obviously, the wrong decision. She goes down as well. So
they want deadlift to use the res, or not. Okay, I was thinking they want him to use it for more free gold.
They're baiting it, yeah.
Foxy's setting up top lane, but Mage Bane is not actually going to fall for it, I'd say, or they just don't know that they're doing Kong.
Oh, he's blinking in further.
They should be
I'm just
patient.
gonna guess.
Oh my god,
Almost
no.
feels like he was just about to guess right there for some reason.
It feels like he wants to last it on the tower. Oh, he used stun. Go, Mage Bane, go!
Oh, now Midas showing.
Yeah, okay, he is gonna go back in the end. Oh, it's so funny to have so many players now using that to just sit in the woods somewhere and wait.
Hmm.
Because, like, so many people just don't look there. And with couriers now being completely changed and everything, you just can't search for them either.
Yeah, that's one of the negatives that came with that change for sure.
No.
Scouting.
Is there any talk of that actually being reverted or not at all?
I haven't heard anything along those lines, no. I think overall it's been pretty happy with the change. I mean, I know there was a survey that came out after it happened, and it was pretty overwhelmingly pretty positive from my understanding, so. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to answer that.
Or at least, you know, make it a part of competitive games again.
I know he did mention that there was some idea as far as like creating also something that you could buy for the sake of scouting with to still give you that aspect, almost like just an
I think they should.
thing. But for some reason that kind of fell through and testing and stuff, it didn't work out. So.
Well, I mean, you can't really test it that effectively, seeing as they're going.
They're trying to make a final push right here, and that's a quick kill on the South Forest. Well, he buys back. Behemoth is sitting up here. He's waiting for a right time. Oh, he's going to be found. He actually goes in at the split second.
And Labyrinth DCs.
No.
He crashed.
That crashed.
Oh, man.
I mean, yeah.
Rip noobs.
Yeah, he just bought back. He's coming back in here, and then right as the fight kind of breaks out. So he is reconnecting here. But obviously not looking the best right now for a reason. Magebane, is he stunned currently? It looks like it.
Behemoth has also already used his shockwave and is now feeling the pain.
Dark Lady just about dead, but has
With
that
token. I'm curious to... Well, I mean, they do have the gnomes on more access and everything, but I always feel like Lifesteal is a pretty nice pickup on Dark Lady. And, you know, the Abyssal, they are pushing with 3k gold. Even the Dawnbringer, although that item is kind of crappy now. I'm really disappointed in Dawnbringer.
The light brand aspect,
Incredibly disappointed in Dawnbringer.
The Grimoire, more so?
Everything to do with Lightbrand.
Anything it touches. Awful. All right, well, fight commencing right here. Obviously, Behemoth and Moraxis fall, so the Initiator's going down. Dark Lady ended up not dying there. I think the Hellborn team made a point of that. Trying not to actually kill her just yet, but...
I mean, there's still 3 minutes left on the token, so they could technically go back to base, wait for boxing, and come back.
Well, that's true that. They could just go in instead. South Forest dead again. He has a second and final buyback, which he will use again. So Dark Lady going to come back up, full life, full mana, though. Arcane Vortex there's the Undying. Pops a shark and head, though, chasing them back. Magebane in the meantime, dealing with others nearby. Splits out the Mana Rift, doing a lot of damage, actually, and gets the kill. And Dark Lady is going to end up falling right here. Did not kill Magebane either, so the Hellborn team is successful in their hold attempt. As
2 buybacks on South Forest, but...
Oh, nice. More also goes down, but... So yeah, 2 buybacks as you mentioned. It's still quite a lead for BMG, but... They can stay in the game at least.
For a little bit longer. But that was with a token, to be fair, so... Yeah, great job on getting rid of the extra team, the surrounding teammates first, and then going for the Dark Lady. To isolate him and everything.
So
look at Masera going to sneak. Sneaky.
Where is he? Oh, way up here. Yeah,
is he gonna go for this kill on deadlift? He has puzzle box up.
Yeah, that could be a kill he can make happen. Yep.
Oh, he's gonna that's fine too.
No, he's good. Oh, by his post haste actually. Oh, Magebane split pushing now, and I'm not gonna lie. Part of me would find it a little bit amusing if Reason Gaming can actually come back in this game, and I say that because we were kind of having fun with this Spyglass pickup, but that's 1,800 gold that he invested into a very useless item. That's why he buys it, to make a point. So
yeah,
seeing things like
that.
He
is the captain of the ship.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to scout his. I mean, you reveal enemy buildings within 900 range. It would be nice if you have a carry who outranges towers, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Flint.
Yeah, exactly. And you know how there's all those pirate skins on Flint?
It makes sense.
And
It was
Spyglass is the
made for
perfect
him.
item.
Yeah.
It was made literally for him and him alone, and not for a Moira. What are you doing, Fusen?
Silly. All right, well, Reason again, they are still in this. So knowing what's on the line especially, they're down 1-0. Definitely going to grind it out here. And Mageman is one of these carries that potentially could make for some crazy finishes here, but in the meantime, it's going to be losing at least one teammate, as Deadlift just found. See, Dark Lady has that dancing blade here. Oh, can't chase, but Parasite can. Boy, Talisman is helping actually, but not enough. Storm Spirit.
From Boxy, by the way. Not from...
oh, yeah, from Moraxis got it, yeah. Where's Mora? Okay, she's middle lane. So they get to take on him.
It's so split up, and they don't even care. They're just going for all sides of the base right now. Oh, Mageman, though. Are they going to go for it? They aren't going to get the sheep off on him. But now, by the way, Labyrinth has a shrunken head, so he's going to be a bit more difficult to deal with. You know what I find interesting now? The fact that supports can feel comfortable having a Ward of Revelation somewhere, even though the Ward of Sight is right on top of there. They might not even know it's there, because they're like, oh, but I have a Ward of Revelation there. How could there be a ward there? Because, you know, they don't check uphill anymore.
Huh. Yeah?
Because, you know, you use the Word of Revelation, and then you see all the wards in the area from the ward. So they're like, oh, yeah, but right now there's no Word of Sight there from Fusen because, you know, my Word of Revelation is there, but they don't check uphill.
Good point. And so, yeah, you kind of wonder if he's just going to figure that's not the case and won't bother trying it again, at least right now. Yeah, no, that's, again, kind of the change having the impact there. Like a courier scouting. Magebane pushing out again. Similar to last game, they're in that spot of they're just going to sit behind their carry and hope that he can get that farm somehow. If he does get jumped, they're ready to respond. You see them kind of scouting it out a little bit more. Midas nearby.
Midas with the Shrunken.
And that sheep, of course.
Behemoth still roaming around with that Veiled Rot. Trying not to be found. Trying to be a bit sneaky, is he?
Portal key picked up by Moira, too, so did invest that gold in the Spyglass, but it's farming actually pretty well to the point where he still gets a portal key.
Did he farm Ancients? I think he might have farmed Ancients to get that. No, but as a Moira, it just seems kind of funny. DD rune as well, so if they give that to Balthazar right now, that's going to be painful. They don't have a bottle on anyone anymore, so if they want Dark Lady to get it, then they need him to run over. Like, this is why you should give your bottle to your support instead of sending it outright.
Yeah, they're going to just camp here for now. There we go.
And they're going to get it. And the Wingbow picked up on Dark Lady, so where's the Luna Spyglass? To be completely useless.
Yeah. Well, Magebane should be getting one out, to be honest. That was the point of the item, after all.
Yeah. But then you're thinking you're using up an item slot to, you know, 20 damage.
That's not good. I'm with people there. Dark Lady.
Okay.
Lord South Forest is going to fall back. Obviously, the Shrunken Head's causing a little bit of back and forth. Moira in the background's dealing with Behemoth, meanwhile, keeping him in check. And they just kill the Rax and they run out. They even got a Shrunken out of Magebane with nobody dying. So, very good push right there from BMG.
But remember, they see all of them roaming over there, so they are in position to potentially turn. But no, they choose not to. Parasite, though, he might be in some trouble right now. Nope. Everyone's sticking around just long enough to bait them out and then run away.
Yeah. Probably going to wait for the next Kongor would be my guess for BMG here, and then truly try to finish the game after that. So the Hellborn team will have a little more time to farm something here, but Magebane next to lines, excuse me, going to be a Frost of Skull, looks like. And that'll take him up a bit, but...
Yeah, he really needs a way to hit Dark Lady, though. Oh, top lane. Dark Lady is actually going in on the mage train, but the Geos doing enough work.
It's a good item to have in this case, so. Yep, use it right away. Easily gets away. Middle lane in the meantime. Jump on a Midas. Shockwave initiation. There's that Vortex, though.
But
Follow up.
he does have the Shrunken, though, so he just needs to use that.
No.
Not going to be able to. Storm Spirit actually canceling it out.
Yep.
But is Buxy going to go for this?
He popped back, by the way. He's coming back in. They catch Mage Bane, and he is dead.
He tried to res as well.
Oh, no.
And the res is now one charge at least is on cooldown.
Yeah.
And there's no buyback.
Nope. This is Kongor? No, he's not. Okay, well, there
Yes.
you go. Just popped up.
What a timing to die.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
man.
Perfect for the Legion side. It's like they timed that perfectly. Okay, we'll kill Mage Bane mid, and then we'll go to Kongor, who will spawn right after. There we go. Here's our game.
Okay, so we're going to take Congo right now, and then in 10 minutes, Mage Bane is going to be middle, and he's going to give us the resources. He's going to give us the positioning
That further
to
ahead,
then
yeah.
take the second Congo, and then we push base because we still have 40 seconds to go. Okay, good plan. Break.
They planned it out. Yeah, they huddled it up even before, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Well,
that
that's
was
what the
ridiculous
spyglass is
timing.
for.
That worked out, and now the spyglass, they can see the towers here. Moraxis jumping in, Behemoth, he's dead off the bat, and I don't think he could come back. He's not even bothering though. No eruption or shockwave, excuse me. What's the point? He's probably thinking. Lord Salforus barely stays alive in the background. BMG obviously going a little far right here, having some fun with it, but now they're going to go back to the objective and look to kill the tower. So, Dark Lady taking a stun, has the token though, so not really too concerned. Should be another set of racks as meanwhile the top lane also heavily being pushed in by the creep wave. And Dark Lady's going back with the charging strikes right there. Well, Shockwave is back up now. Here we go into Lord South Force. Oh, there's the Shockwave. Pretty decent one actually. Kills Midas. Just doesn't matter though.
And Luna down at the same time though. Deadlift going down, so he's not able to res. Oh no, he might have bought back. I'm not entirely sure. No, he didn't buy back.
No.
Where is he?
He got him up. Deadlift was actually able to res him.
Was
Some
he?
way,
I think
somehow, it
Captain
looks
Knight
like.
just bought back.
He only has one charge right now, so.
Yeah, but that was from before.
I think it reset actually.
Maybe.
Let's see if I
Either
got the
way.
replay. Well, anyways. The game's still. Over
Yeah.
pretty much.
Balthazar actually last sitting time to die with his Taint Soul as well. The
That's the wrong pause.
GG, well played.
All
Wrong
right.
vote. Oh man.
So that will officially be the game, though, and that means that will officially be the series. So, all right, the sigh of relief for BMG here got a little dangerous, but in the end, they
Through.
are coming back to Diamond for our final cycle. And again, that's pretty important. That's the case there. So, yeah, he resurrected. So Forrest got resurrected there. Deadlift was actually able to get it off.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'll double check this again, but yeah, because he dies. He's dead at the spot. Oh yeah, there's definitely the animation there. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Anyways, like that really matters. The point is, yeah, no, kind of analyzing for no reason.
It was kind of like a little argument between us.
Well,
like,
sorry.
You do.
That's what we
Okay.
figured.
All right. If that's what's important to you.
Yes, very. Okay, so BMG, though, they are victorious. And again, the favored team, like we're talking about, not a huge surprise here necessarily. But it got a little scary, got a little close. But they are coming back to Diamond. So the two same teams will be coming back. Of course, on Tuesday, Polymorph also won their match against Sons of Zeus. So they, too, are coming back. So the final 8 teams for Diamond Cycle 8 are decided to end the regular season here. And end it with a bang, I'm sure. It should be a lot of fun. But, yeah, Shorkhan, your final thoughts on today's series in general and BMG taking it?
Like both games were really close at the start, but I think BMG with that bit of extra experience was just like doing really well. And I gotta say, by the way, look at Masera's stat line: 11, 110, 493 gold per minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
Both games he did great.
Yeah. So, yeah. Ultimately, BMG just did their rotations a bit better, I think, and, they were making good use of their resources throughout the entire game, triple stacking the Ancients, making sure Balthazar had somewhere to farm all the time, whereas on the other side, you had Labyrinth taking a lot of farm, 229 creep kills, but, he ended up going for a Storm Spirit, which I thought was kind of interesting since they're not really versus, like, a behemoth or, against the Midas and Meraxes, sure, it's fine, but, they're just going to wait around until he drops down and then continue hitting him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, again, guys, we have those 8 teams now. We are not in Cycle 8 yet. We still have Cycle 7 to finish, of course, and that means we got this weekend coming up. And here you go. Here are the brackets for this weekend. We got some matchups that we definitely know by now. Complexity versus Fresh in the losers bracket semifinals, and then Evo Corporation taking on Sync Esports in the winner bracket finals. Now, these last 2 cycles are very, very important for several reasons. One, there's just money on the line, of course, but the other thing is that where people stand currently, and I know, again, there hasn't been any official announcement yet, but it's safe to say that the number 1 seed will be getting the automatic invite to the World Finals. And right now, Complexity and Sync are competing for that. Complexity currently at 13,850 points, and Sync at 13,350 points. So only 500 points difference there. You got Evo Corporation in third with 10,650. So there is no way that they could get that first place spot with how many points they currently have. But Sync and Complexity, if Sync actually wins these final 2 cycles, no matter what else happens, they actually will be that number 1 seed. So they have that going for them, where Complexity, if they only win one of the next 2, they will be the number 1 seed. So it's pretty important.
Regardless of anything.
Regardless of anything else, exactly. So it's pretty.
So it's not even that
guys.
Complexity can get second twice and then
correct.
be
even if they